I wonder in this museum park when they talk about the bears moving and they're going to do things, how are they going to increase the beauty of this area to add even more value to everything? How are they going to redo the harbor and the sanctuary from the retainer walls and everything? I mean, if you're going to do it, I mean, you do an overall rehab. And so I wonder how they're going to integrate this to make it even more beautiful. And so I always loved Museum Park. I love the museums. I went to the museums by myself. And so, again, maybe I need to start doing that. But, again, this can be, a more beautiful place. Some reason they keep on wanting to go with the negativity, and that's suppression of everything. And you think they would want to go with the positivity and the expansion. Because as the firefighters found out in Detroit, as the streets and sanitation found out in Detroit, as the police force in Detroit found out, that going with the negative screwed them all. So go ahead with that model. As the news agencies in Detroit, as the businesses in Detroit found out that going with a negativity model screwed them all. Everybody went under. The big three automakers, they couldn't recruit to Detroit. The city was going into the garbage. No one wanted to work. So they think of, well, why did the big three go down? Number one reason is why the internet boomed and why financial services struggled as well, because they were pulling from very few elite talent. And when you get this, our prison population should be like the Asian population in the United States. 20 million people, 2,000 people in prison. So it should be incredibly small so you can pull from a huge talent pool. But all these systems failed because they went the negativity route. And you think the insurance companies won? All those houses went away. They lost the auto insurance, they lost the homeowners, they lost the business insurance. The whole city got demolished and imploded. So you can only have a little bit of negativity because that makes everything affordable and people put in the things in places and so on. So I don't know who's doing the economic modeling, but the reason the big three kept on failing is because they weren't bringing up incredible talent and incubating. And then you say, well, we were winning. Really? Were we winning? We created weaker markets abroad by pulling in talent from India and that, which we did pull in a lot of HB1 talent from India. And that brain drain, more than China, we pulled in an incredible amount of talent from India. And what happened? Well, you get India, who is 1.5 billion people that only produce $4 trillion in GDP. Where you get China that produces 10 or so because we didn't pull in as much talent. So you think we are winning? Well, there goes our export business. Our export business imploded. So you keep on going with this domestic negativity, and it shouldn't exist. These evil people should be automatically marked as the beast, as it says in Revelations, and then you know where they are. That's why we have the sexual offender database and everything. And they did it to themselves. And so, again, dating sites and that, they have to out people. They don't want people on the sexual offender database to be on dating sites. Look at this guy. I wanted to see if he run the pure red light. He did. But again, so you think we're winning. I watched economies collapse. I watched Los Angeles implode. The state of California was going towards the near bankruptcy. So I don't get it. They were with Chicago. Do you know that? The state of California was not with Illinois. Illinois munis were better than the state of California. The state of California munis were lined up with Chicago. The whole state of California was about to go bankrupt. And you think they would have learned from Ronald Reagan when he stopped making movies in California when the tax rates went to 90%. And the Democrats were supposed to put in strong border securities and immigrate properly. And we need to build out Mexico. Again, this whole system is not engineered correctly, and the leadership sucks. And so, again, they need to build it out correctly. And yeah, it's funny that I only got 6 months, and I was never here because I left at 7 in the morning and came back at midnight. So I was really never here when I lived here anyways. And it wasn't me that wanted me to move here. It was Jen that wanted me to move here. She had a long, drawn conversation with me about why I should move in with her. Think about that. I didn't choose to move in with her. She chose. I didn't choose when we were going to have intercourse. She chose. I left that to her to make those choices. She was the one who made those choices. And when you give somebody that type of control, and then they go back and bite the hand that fed them, it is highly fucking unacceptable. That's the point of Revelations in the Bible. He gave free will. And then you go back, as you're showing through me, going back and biting the hand that fed you. Cutting off the nose to spite the face. That means you're going to burn. So, again, you don't understand these things. And it's ridiculous. It's like my family is they're oblivious to it. And they say they're spiritual. I don't know what spirit they're talking about. Satan and maybe a particular demon? Because it doesn't seem to be the Holy Spirit. Or you would say the Holy Ghost. So, again, they don't understand this. And I watched all these places implode. And they're like, yeah, we want negativity. I watched Vegas implode, and it had to reinvent itself. So it wasn't good. So you think these negativities are good? No, they're not. And he's working with a belt, but the thing is, the belt suppresses the diaphragm. Yes, it's below the lungs, but it still suppresses. And when you do this thing, and this is where they don't understand, there's a difference between support and suppression. And that's why you're supposed to do things. You have things called atrophy. And when you rely on any mechanics too long, you atrophy. And that's why I'm for people getting out of the wheelchair. Sitting in the wheelchair is not a good thing. Getting prosthetics and getting out of the wheelchair is a very good thing. So I worry about Tammy Duckworth doesn't give a shit about me, but I worry about her health. Here, let's go down by the new stadium. But she has to get prosthetics. And she should be leading the nation in showing prosthetics. Getting out of the fucking wheelchair. I'm not saying she has to get rid of it. I'm saying that the majority of all of her time needs to be out of the wheelchair. We can't go with this system anymore. If she plans on living long, she just had a child after 50, and she wants to be around for the child, you got to get rid of the wheelchair. I'm not saying don't have a wheelchair. I'm saying it's minimal use instead of maximal use. And if not, then we don't get the prosthetic industry. And then for planes and everything, truly, people getting in planes and going into stadiums or movie theaters, they create a very big impediment. And so you have to overcome the impediment. It's like, I'm looking at this. When are they going not to be the impediment, black people? When are they not going to be the fucking parasite that sucks all the fucking excess property? Truly, if we didn't have to support them, then there would be a surplus. They would be paying taxes, not receiving subsidies. Big difference. That's called Reaganomics. Expanding the base. So I'm waiting for this 78 to be developed on both sides. And this should be a revolutionary stadium. You know, the guy who, the founder of Morningstar, wouldn't he want to, bring out people like the head of Vanguard and BlackRock and others, and truly, just as relationship building? The CEO of Morningstar should have a box there, and they come out to see how incredible the stadium is and what Chicago and Illinois and the Midwest can accomplish. Because that's what this is saying, and you don't understand it. People are looking at what can you accomplish? And they look at you as a people. So, yeah, you have bad actors and this and that, but they look at you as a people. And they're like, well, look at Detroit. It went down as a people. All those white people had to leave, and they had to sell their shit on the cheap. So you think white people made out because they fled? They had to sell shit at fire sale prices. They lost a freaking fortune. So, again, you have to understand that. So where is it going? Because New York, when I went to it, and I was proud of LA and New York because they were cleaning up. And every time I went back, and Jen even noticed it, the soot in the air in New York was going down. And the air was getting cleaner because she used to complain to me, and she's like, wow, they're actually cleaning up the atmosphere in New York. I don't feel that heavy soot on my skin as much anymore. And this is going back to the early 2000s with Mayor Bloomberg doing his things. So here's an integration into the 78. Are they going to open up some Chinese restaurants in there? Truly, how are they going to integrate this street right here, which I should have went down, but there's a street right here they can open up that feeds right into Chinatown that they should open up from the 78 so they have multiple tiers. But this is a one-lane bridge, which is a big bottleneck. And so, okay, they minimize the stadium. Do you want to keep on minimizing structures because you keep on creating bottlenecks? Truly, do you keep on having the smallest of everything because everything is a bottleneck? So this street right here goes right into the 78. And this is going to be a windfall for everything on that side as well. But the expressway is right up there to the west of me, and Lakeshore Drive is to the east of me. But they're going to have to build this out. And this is a great way in and out that minimizes. And I came down here for the Chinese boat races. And I was part of the Chinatown Chamber. I was part of Castle, the Chinese American Service League. And truly, and part of a lot of Chinatown. But the streets going to have to open up. But this community is going to benefit greatly. But they should be initiating a revitalization here. And think about it. The owner of Morningstar, and he injects this, and there's all kinds of China funds, but also 1.5 billion people Chinese, they have to diversify their portfolios too. So, I don't get it. So, glorifying this and revitalizing this and emphasizing makes a great point to China